Today, week 8 predictions. I know Hudson and Max aren't here, and we haven't posted a lot. We just had things that have been going on the weekend, so I guess we haven't had any time. But yeah, it's about Halloween time. This thing's extremely hot, so pardon me if I mumble or something, but it's so hard to see. But we're just gonna get right into it. But yeah, sorry for the lack of content. I didn't do the other weeks like I said I would, but you know, we all make mistakes. So we're just gonna start off with our first game. Let's go. Okay, first game, Miami versus Buffalo. No explanation here. You can kind of tell who already won this game. Buffalo. I'm gonna go Buffalo 65-0. Next is the Steelers versus Cleveland. Steelers are coming off a bye. That's pretty good, but I still think Steelers are not that good of a team if I'm taking this off. They literally have a potato as their quarterback, and the Browns don't. They actually have a really underrated quarterback, Baker Mayfield. But yes, Steelers have really good defense and stuff, but so do the Browns. And I don't know if Kareem Hunt's going to be back, but I'm assuming Nick Chubb is. So Nick Chubb's back. They're not short-handed anymore. They beat the Broncos. I mean, cool, they beat the Broncos, but not really that good of a team. So, but nonetheless, I'm picking Cleveland, the Cleveland Browns, to take this one by a touchdown because, oh my God, that's a lot. Okay, well, anyways, next we have Tennessee Titans versus the Colts. Colts actually a really underrated team. I mean, their record does not show how they actually play. They beat the 49ers last week. Really big win, huge win. Jonathan Taylor's finally finding a spot, and all these people are finally finding where they're supposed to be. Tennessee, Ryan Tannehill's just been getting worse and worse. Julio's injured. Surprise, surprise. AJ Brown. I forgot what happened with AJ Brown, but he's in. I forgot, but he's doing something's wrong with him. Derrick Henry, yeah, he's gonna be really good, but you know, Colts have a pretty nice run defense, so I think they're gonna stop them, get them under 100 yards, rushing yards. But I still think Indy's gonna take this. Ooh, actually, yeah, it's actually a really hard one. I'm gonna go Tennessee with this one. Tennessee has beaten the Bills. That's really the only reason why I picked them. So yeah, Tennessee by a field goal, 24-27. Next game, we got Cincinnati versus the Jets. Cincinnati had a really big game last week against Ravens. They had a really big game against the Ravens. Jamar Chase popped off. Joe Mixon didn't even get really any touches, and they still slaughtered the Ravens. Joe Burrow's finally finding not just to throw to the deep ball to Jamar Chase and actually get him in tight coverage and things like that, but like every week Jamar Chase has a 86-yard touchdown. So I don't know, but I don't know what's going to happen with the Bengals. They're really unpredictable with Joe Mixon. It's either going to be Joe Mixon's big game or it's Jamar Chase with a big game. It's not usually they don't both have a good game, but nonetheless they're the Jets, so I'm going Cincinnati. Next, we got the Chargers versus New England. Actually, before I do this funny story, in one of my fantasy leagues, I had my starting lineup was Josh Allen. Josh Allen's on a bye week. Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen's on a bye week. Who is my other writer? CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb's on a bye week. Austin Eckler. Austin Eckler's on a bye week. Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook's on a bye week. My tight end wasn't on a bye week. That was T.J. Hawkinson. And then my flex was... Who was my flex? I think it was Calvin Ridley, but I don't think he was on a bye. Yeah, he wasn't on a bye. So Calvin Ridley was my flex. He still stayed my flex. But I still had my quarterback, wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, running back 1, running back 2. All those people had a bye week, so that was just really devastating. And I still won. That just proves that my team's stacked. I mean, it was an 8-team league, but it was still stacked. So speaking of byes, we got the Chargers on a bye and against New England. I'm gonna go Chargers here. Yes, Chargers are coming off a tough loss and a bye week. Tough loss to the Ravens. I never thought that would happen. I literally bet the Chargers to win and I ended up losing $5. But you know, it is what it is. That's betting. Chargers are still a really good team, nonetheless. They just might have just had a bad game. New England, they're not as good as you really think they are. Mac Jones is not that good either. I mean, they can beat the Jets twice. They swept the Jets, but still, they're not good at all. I'm going to go Chargers. Without Tom Brady, Patriots aren't good. Or Gronk. Next, we got the Rams versus the Texans. Rams. They actually had a close game against the Lions. That was a mistake. They actually almost lost. And I mean, the Lions actually put up a really big fight until the end, and then they just lose it at the end. But they're actually, even though they choke a lot and lose, they've lost 2 games to a 50 or more yard field goal, almost like a 67 or something, whatever Justin Tucker's kick was. Then the other one was like a 56. So I think that Lions are actually a lot better. I mean, yes, their offensive line is kind of crappy. Their center cannot hike the ball at an appropriate time, and they keep going. T.J. Hawkinson can't stay on sides, but I still think they're a good team minus those critical mistakes. But just my opinion, I guess. DeAndre Swift's also really, really good. Next, we got Jacksonville versus Seattle. Even though Seattle has Geno Smith, I'm still going Seattle just because Jacksonville's Jacksonville. They had a really good game against the Dolphins, and they're the Dolphins, and they still won by a field goal or something. They still aren't that good. So don't say that, well, yeah, they beat the Dolphins, and the Dolphins almost beat the Falcons. Well, I don't really care. Jags still suck. Next is the Washington football team versus the Broncos. This is actually a really close game. Washington, they put up a good fight against the Chiefs. They didn't really play that well the next week. Denver, they're so overrated. It's not even funny. Just because they went 4-0 and played 4 really, really bad teams does not mean they're a good team. But Jerry Jeudy coming back, yes, but he's still not going to be fully healthy. If this was a matchup next week, I'd definitely do that because I think Teddy Bridgewater is going to have a good week next week, and Jerry Jeudy is going to be fully healthy. But without those 2 guys actually on their games, I'm going to go Washington because without those 2 guys, they're just not as good of a team as they normally are. Next, we got the Giants versus Kansas City. Giants suck. Kansas City hopefully will pull this out. I mean, they're so overrated now this year just because they went to the Super Bowl last year. Still so overrated. Thursday night, hopefully I can post this before Thursday night football. I don't know if I can or not, but since we only had a 3-day school weekend, I should be able to. But Thursday night, we got the Cardinals versus the Packers. If you didn't know, Packers star wide receiver Davante Adams is hurt. Yes, he's hurt. And that's a critical part of their team. Yes, you have Randall Cobb. He's not really that good anymore. He's pretty washed up. And you also have Alan Lazard. But still, they're nothing like Davante Adams. And without Aaron Rodgers with his number 1 wide receiver, that he can't just throw it to Davante all game if you don't have Davante. So I think that they're going to actually lose. I mean, yes, Arizona is due for a loss. There's no way they're going to go undefeated. I think they're going to come close to taking the undefeated run of the Steelers last year, but I don't think they're going to make it. But I feel like this is going to be wise words or bold words for me to say, but Arizona is a very, very good team, and without Davante Adams, there's no way they can be that good. Next, we got the Bears versus the 49ers. 49ers are also a really overrated team. I would say they're really overrated. I mean, they lost Richard Sherman. They're just not that good. But the Bears are even worse. They don't have David Montgomery. I don't know if Tariq Cohen's coming back this week. And if he does, he's not going to be fully healthy and conditioned and has practice and all these things. So there's no way that Chicago's going to pull this out. Justin Fields is coming off a pretty bad game. So there's no way they're going to pull this off. I'm going 49ers. Next, we got the Panthers versus the Falcons. I'm a Falcons fan, as you know. I'm going to go Falcons. I'm not saying this. I am a little biased, but I still believe that they're going to take this win just because Carolina does not have CMC. And there's an absurd stat that Sam Darnold has thrown 11 picks and CMC's been injured. And he's played like crap. They literally had to bench him. They had to bench him against the Giants. and they lost against the Giants, and Atlanta beat the Giants. So that's also another reason why I would go Atlanta. Really just Sam Darnold, and without Christian McCaffrey is the only reason why I'm going Falcons. Let's hope Kyle Pitts does well again, because I like Kyle Pitts a lot, and I also like Calvin Ridley. Matt Ryan, I don't really like him, even though he's my starting quarterback. I still don't really like him. But next, we got the Lions versus the Eagles. This is going to be a bold prediction. You know why? Because I'm going Detroit. Detroit's going to win their first game of the season. Detroit is going to pull off and not get screwed by a 50-plus yard field goal. They're not playing the greatest team. Jalen Hurts is a top 10 quarterback, by the way. Thank you, Hudson. I know he is. There's no way that Detroit is going to hopefully not go winless for this long. Hopefully, they can give the ball to T.J. Hawkinson. They can give the ball to DeAndre Swift. They don't make these critical errors where Jared Goff doesn't know when the center's snapping the ball. Let's hope that the defense doesn't break down. Let's hope all these things happen. And if they don't make these rookie mistakes and critical mistakes, they will pull out with a win. And this is the perfect time to pull out with a win because Philly is like a team that they can actually beat. I think they showed how good they really are against the Rams. The Detroit seems really bad on paper, and it seems like only T.J. Hawkinson and DeAndre Swift are going to get the ball. But if they can just have their wide receivers catch the ball and things like that, I think there will be a not really good team, but I think they could beat the Eagles. So I'm going Detroit there. Next, we got Tampa Bay versus New Orleans. Tampa Bay, I don't know if Gronk's going to be back, but Tom Brady's still a beast. TB12. Mike Evans had 3 touchdowns last week. They didn't even use Chris Godwin, and they still slaughtered. They're just kind of getting through these worst teams so that they can get to a better team that they will play, and hopefully they'll be ready for it. So I'm going to go Tampa Bay because, I don't really like New Orleans that much either. Without Drew Brees, I kind of stopped watching them. Next, we got the Cowboys versus, this is the last game. We got the Cowboys versus the Vikings. Very, very, very close game. I think this is Sunday night. I don't know for sure, but I think it is. I think it's Sunday night. You got Dallas versus Minnesota. Dallas, very, very, very good team. They have a really, I think it's a safety or a cornerback. I forgot the rookie's name. It's like Trayvon Diggs or something. He's leading the league in interceptions, and he's a rookie. I hope he wins Defensive Rookie of the Year because I think he truly deserves it, and I love watching him. Did the Cowboys? Yeah, the Cowboys had a bye week, but the week before that, they had that insane play where Trayvon Diggs intercepted someone for a pick 6, and then right after that, he got burned by the wide receiver for the next touchdown, and then CeeDee Lamb ended up having to finish it off in overtime. They're a really good team, and I think that, yes, it was the Patriots, but the Patriots played really well. And Minnesota, yes, they get screwed a lot, but both coming off a bye, I think Dallas will pull this out just because, I don't know, I just like the Cowboys. I think they're really good. And the Vikings, if they can't use Dalvin Cook right, I don't think they're going to win they're going to win this game, which I don't think they're going to use Dalvin Cook right. So I'm going to go Cowboys. And that is the end of Week 8 predictions. Happy Halloween, guys. Yeah. Hopefully I can do Week 9. Because there might be some good games. I don't really know. I haven't looked. Sorry I took off the mask. It's really hot in that mask. I was going to think about putting on my costume when I was 4 years old, my Captain America costume, but it definitely didn't fit me, so I'm not going to do that. But, yeah, happy Halloween. Hopefully you guys have a nice Thursday night football game and good Sunday. Caught up on all your work and everything. So without further ado, peace.
I wish I never met. But we both know that's a lie. Hard to leave it all.